we are doing something different. Our channel is about learning, coding, doing projects, learning through the project, and seeing different way for us to improve ourselves, not just by being an Elixir developer, but also improving ourselves in any other developing or any other tech or any other aspect of our life we are trying to get a solid rock on. So today we're going to be doing something different. So today we are doing a simple Elixir expense tracker. We're going to be using Phonics Liveview, and we're going to be using Elixir for the backend. So it's going to be a live coding throughout, and I'm trying to time it to not take exceed 1 hour, but still keep it interesting because we are following this motto that says coding should be fun. Not coding can be fun, but coding should be fun. So we are trying to build this expense tracker. So what does this expense tracker going to do? The expense tracker is going to have a form. So in the form, we should be able to add an amount, a category, a description, so a description, amount, category, a title. So the category is going instead of category, we're going to be saying a title. So the title is going to tell us which kind of expenses are we trying to add. A category is going to tell us is it food. A description is going to tell us that, and it's going to have account type. Is it a debit? Are we trying to fund the are we trying to fund or are we trying to remove? Then we have a date. So the table is going to have a list of expenses we have created. Then we are going to have a monthly review at the bottom where we can see the monthly review of all the expenses we picked in a month. So stick to us. We love you and we like having you here. So it's still your home girl, Benedicta, and this is Elixir Ford. So let's get started, people. So we were trying to create our project. So we have created our project. Yes, so it should create a dependency for us. So if you notice here, it has created a test for us, created a repo, and created a formatter. We have a controller. We have so many things that this page is creating. We were not going to dive into the various things that was being created. Okay. So it's running the mid steps. So after that, there's a documentation here we are reading that says, so this is documentation we are reading. So the documentation gives us this PHS tags. So this PHS tags has various generators that can help us to do things seamlessly. So instead of building all your code from scratch, it can do a custom code for you. So we are going to be using more of this generator in this our project. So so many of the things we are going to be doing is going to be based on the generator actually. So we have first of all created our project using the PHS gen.new to create the new Elixir project. So so we're going to be doing so there is a live here, phsgen.live. So we're going to be using this phsgen.live. So what phsgen.live does, it creates a live view template and a context for a resource. So that's what we are going to be using to create expense. So yes, our expenses is going to be our context file name, which is going to carry all our code, API code implementation for the create, the delete, and everything in the backend integration. So we're going to have a schema name called expense. So this schema name is going to carry out is this that is going to be our table name. So our table, sorry, the schema name is going to help us to map around the data we are creating and all that. So we are going to have expenses, which is going to be our table name, and also we're going to have a name dot string. So we're going to have Sorry, I want to. Yeah, so I'm going to share this live stream for people that is interested in joining the live stream so that you can join. So give me a minute. Let me share to people to join the live stream and go along with us. So it has finished. We're waiting for this thing to finish loading. So if you can see, it has finished loading over here. Yeah, what we are doing has finished loading. So please give me a minute. I'm still here. I'm still with you. Just give me like a 5 minute break. I'm still here with you guys. Okay, so let's continue. What we are doing, so we are seeding into the project expense tracker. So we are seeding into it. Sorry, I didn't write it well. So we are seeding into expense tracker, and we are going to do mix. So we are going to create the database using mix ecto create to help us create the database. Then we're going to start this application in the shell mode in case if we want to have error handling and everything. So let's get this ready. So we are starting this application in, sorry, let me open the VS code of this application first so we can start typing the code. So I'm trying to pull this down. Okay, so I'm able to pull it down. Now I can get it in full screen and we can start this and get to see how the project looks like. Oh, okay. So we have back. We had a project running before, but now we have killed that project and we're starting our project. So guys, we're gonna go to the browser now to see how the project came out. Yeah, we are using Postgres. Okay, somebody is asking. We are using Postgres. So it's Postgres we are using for the database. Thank you, Radima, for being here. Thank you. So we are using Postgres for the database. She just wants to be beautiful. She goes. Okay. Unnoticed, she knows. To be identified by she craves attention. She praises an image. She prays. So please give me a minute. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Okay. Please, can you call that number I gave you? Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Sorry. Please give me a minute. Okay. I'm still here. So let's continue. So we are using Postgres for the database. And over here, so if we say localhost 4000, so we're going to make our code smaller. Yeah, so localhost 4000, you see, so we have this piece of land and everything is already ready. So we can see how the whole page is looking at. So our project has started. So let's dive into it. So first of all, we want to so first of all, we want to build so we want to build the yeah, we want to build the table for the form because that's like the major part. So we are going to dive into that now. So that's the part we are diving into. Okay, so to do that, we need to use this PHP. So we're going to close down these. We need to use PHS. So we're going to build another tab, CD into our project. So I'm just going to try to make everything big so that we can follow along what's going on. So we are following this PHS gen for this page integration. So we're going to do miss phs.gen dot live. So we're going to call it expenses. Then we're going to call this expense. Then we'll have expenses. Then we'll have a name of the expenses, which is going to be a string. Then we'll have our description, which is also going to be a string. So we're having our description, which is also a string. Then we have category, which is also a string. So the category is going to take, is it food or which kind of expenses are we trying to enter? So we have account type. The account type can be debit or credit. So the account type is also going to be a string. Then we're going to have a amount. So the amount is going to be a float. Okay, so we have category description. Okay. So the amount is a float. So we are done. Are we done? Yeah, we are done. So it has, if you notice now, it has created a expense, a show.index, a form index.html. It created a form component for us. So it has done a lot of the work for us. And he said if we want to check it, we can see it as expenses. So we're going to go to this in our browser to see how it looks like. So let's run this mix ecto.migrate for us. And this new is when we want to create a new. So and he also did an edit for us. So you see it's so easy. He did an edit for us where we can edit it. So all these are just custom code. By running that phs.gen.live, we have created all those custom code. So I'm going to put this in my other screen over here since it's not needed for now. So we're going to close this project and try to do miss compile so that we'll make sure that every new code we have added is being compiled properly. Then we're going to start the project. So we're going to put this, we're going to close this for now. So if you come over here, say run migration, we have already run migration. So if we say slash expenses, so we are going to show how this code actually look like. So, oh, sorry, we're supposed to add those. Yeah, we're supposed to add those into our router. Yeah, we're supposed to add those into our router. If not so, they won't be showing properly. So we're going to add them into our router. So let's see. So we are supposed to add all this like this. So in our router, let's open our code, our VS Code, and bring it there and start doing modification to our code. Okay, so our router now. So this is our router. If you notice, our router is linking to this, and we have this home page. So if we add this, so over here now we can scoop this from the home, from being the home page. We can comment this out and make our expenses page the first home page. And once we check our browser now, so you see now we have the page showing. So this is now how our page is looking like because of the PHS gen code that PHS formulates for us. So we now have a customizable code over here. We now have a customizable code over here, so we can move this to just, since what we want to be dealing with is the code implementation. When we have issues, we can pull this one over here in the previous screen, our double screen, and bring this one back. Yeah, so bring this one back. So we're having two screens that we're sharing, and they're going to build it to be responsive. So it's responsive as you can see it. So if you click on add a new form, it's going to link us to. So we want it to link properly to expenses dot just slash new, and this one will just, so we are linking it properly now. We are removing the expenses since expenses is not needed. This is for it to show, and this is for you to edit it. Okay. So what do we want to do over here? So let's check how you built our database for us and everything. Since we have corrected the router, so we're going to do some modification in our form. So this is our schema. So if you check our schema now, we have name, field, category, account name, and amount. So we are going to add other code in our context file. So this gives us the list of expenses. So this is what we use to get the list of all the expenses. This is what we use to get a particular expenses. So create expenses is used to create an expenses. Update the expense for us to update. So delete expenses is what we use to delete the expenses. So let's go to the live. So in our, this is our index.page now. So this is the index now that handles apply socket, expenses.get expenses, apply socket. If you know, they're applying connection to so many of it. And why we did this is just to help us to build a proper folder structure. So this generator will help you to build a proper folder structure. It will help you to write your code in a very seamless way. So you can just properly edit your code. So this is column. You see it, expenses dot name, description, and that's what you use for the form. So this is the modal that shows the form. This is what links to a new form. So we just, since we have corrected it, we're going to be doing a lot of correction as we are coding because so many things will break. So you can see our yellow code has been showing us like our route is not correct. So we're going to be doing correction of our route and every other things. So to delete, we also have a button to delete. So are you sure you press the delete and delete it for us? So we're going to see that when we create a form because we want to. So we're going to first start. We have been doing modification to the code provided for us. So we're going to use this code to create a new expenses. So this form is now for us to create a new expenses. Coming. So I want to ask ChatGPT on. I want to do a form modification. I'm coming. Let me ask ChatGPT how I'm gonna edit this. I want to create a button. No, I want to input field of video. That's so it's select we want to do. So let's just say select. So I just need to pick this. Okay. So I'm trying to make it to be a drop down. Okay, so there's a way we can do it of type of select. So I'm going to put this code, and when I'm done, I'm going to create a repo for this and put it so everybody can you can always check how the code looks like. So at form.account type, select account type. So we want this to be the first way. So we are going to be doing a form arrangement. So this should be your first input. Then you're going to have name, description. So we're going to remove this account type over here. So it's going to be save expenses. So let's check it out. Oh, sorry. I have so many things open up and trying to see which one we're using. Yeah, this is where we are. Okay, so it's not expenses now because we have taken down that router. So now listing expenses. I can just call it expenses. So instead of listing expenses. So we're going to do that modification now. So we're going to be doing the modification as we're working on the project. So the header is just going to be expenses. So give me a minute. I'm trying to listing expenses, show, edit, hide. which is delete. Socket listing expenses. Okay, so our form expenses, we're gonna look how it looks like. So let's add some. So we're going to be adding, so we are going to add expenses for 2 months, this month and next month. So we're going to have five expenses for this month, five expenses for the next month, and we're going to have debit and credit. So each sure it shows description for new show. So it's a debit category. So the category is going to be fashion. Amount is going to be. So we can make this category. I think we should make the category a drop down so you pick by yourself. I think we should make it like this so you pick by yourself. So let's make the category like that. So come on guys, let's do that. So we're gonna do this for category also. So this is category. The guy called. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to reach you. Okay. Don't give him. This is what it is. Someone that told me to do. I put Can I come? I. Hmm? So fashion. Okay. So we're gonna say food or stuff. So we're gonna call this category food stuff. So we're gonna put like five category. Oh, okay. We have said fashion. We have said food stuff. What else? What else? What else can we put in an expensive? So we're going to call salary in case if you want to is an inflow. So the category should be like salary. Then we're going to say donation. Like we're going to call it gift. Yes. So we're going to put salary. So we'll have gift. So this is a live view code. Yeah, this is a live view code. So it's all we're gonna say all of them are required because we don't want you to submit this form without doing any of these things. No, the description is not required, but the name is required, category is required, and amount is required. So we're gonna recompile our code again. So I told you as we are building, we are creating. So the new then here going to have debit. So we're going to first do credit. gonna call this one salary. Yeah, call it new month salary. Gonna call this one salary and amount. You're going to put. So what happened? Did it not say? Let me confirm what happened. So over here it says something cannot push path to. Oh, okay. Local host because this expenses is not available. So let's check our code. We're having an error. So most time when you have an error, look for the type of error and the description of the error. So it's an argument error, meaning something does not tally. And it's like push parts dot two in your schema. So let's go back to our code. So let's see what when we submit this form, what are we trying to do? So let's go to the form submit. Expenses updated, push parts to sockets assigns dot patch. So what patch do we have in the assign? Expenses dot change expenses. Okay, let's see the main index name. So live action. So where is the patch? So it's taking something somewhere and trying to understand what happened here. So he said create a new expenses push patch to socket assigns dot patch. So let's inspect the socket. Socket assigns dot action. Mount is expensive dot list expenses. Socket assigned dot live action. Index. Okay, live action. Let's go to our router. Okay, so this is it here. So sometimes we just have to look at where we're having an issue. So there's a link part 2 here that would cause us issue in the future. So let's correct it because we changed the way the routing works. Before it was supposed to route us to, but we made the expenses our first page. So we need to like change our routing. So this is the patch. So even if we run our test is going to fail because of this patch. So let's just correct it over here because when we finish this project, we're going to run the mix test to confirm if everything we did is okay. If we pass all our test results. Because funny enough, when by running that live, it has created a test file based on what the command we ran, and the modification we did was not a database modification or any of that. We just did a UI modification. Okay, so now we don't have any of this anymore. So let's recompile and check our code again. Okay, so we are continuing. Sorry, I think we had an issue before. So we are still continuing over here. We did a debit entry that did not work. A credit. So credit is like us putting money into it. So salary description, new salary for March. So we're like saying they just paid us new salary for March and calling it. So this is the salary they gave us. Save. So you can see it saved successfully. Now we are going to use number.delimiter to make sure our amount does not use the ID. So we are going to format the amount, and over here you see we have expenses one. So we are going to edit the way this looks like. But back to expenses, it brought us back here. So we are getting somewhere, guys. We are getting somewhere. So we're going to change this. We're just going to write simple expenses as the header would remove all this get started elixir phonics. We're going to put instead elixir forge and simple expenses. So we have two expenses. So let's first of all edit the amount to be showing properly. So we have to credit expenses. Since this is not working, are you sure you want to delete? And now we have deleted that. So we know our delete function is working. So let's make a new. So we're going to find this express tracker show. So in the show, we're having an error. Let's go to the show and see why in the show we're still having this error. So in the show over here, okay, we're not supposed to have an error in show. I don't know why it's taking us over there. So when we click, I think in the cancel button, that's why we're having an error. So when we close it, yeah, I see where the error is coming from. So let's fix it. So in the form attribute over here, in this form over here, there's an attribute that takes us to create new expenses action. So let me see where it's coming from. So over here, show on cancel. So when is this modal? This is supposed to be a modal. Yeah. So I'm trying to see where that error is coming from. So in case if you have an idea of where the error is coming from, please let me know because I'm trying to see where that part that slash expenses is still coming to. Web show dot show. Okay. So let me inspect it.
Incoming call from Ability Junior identified.
Okay, give me a minute, sorry. I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry for that short interruption. Sorry for that. So we're trying to debug what is causing this reload error because it's getting this page and this page is not in existence. We say coding can be fun, so we're going to put that live in case if you have an idea of what we can do to fix this. So it's a rerouting problem, but let's keep working. We'll find a way to see where this can be coming from. But let's ask ChatGPT first to see if we can get an idea of where that error can be coming from. So it's because it's reroute, like anytime it reroutes, that's when it goes to that page. So let's just create a new expenses debit. We call this one food stuff, or we can say we'll say grocery. So grocery items. We're gonna call this one food stuff amounts with. So we want to fix that exponential that is coming up. So we have, so we are now trying to do, oh shit, we didn't add a date. So that summary we are trying to do, we can't achieve it because we didn't add a date. No, we don't have to add a date. We're going to use this set at date. I forgot, but the set at date cannot be like expanded, so it would have been cool if you had a date. So both of us can like, so it would have been better if you had a date. Because now if we use inserter, it's going to just give us a summary of this month. So that's what we get. Just reloading. Okay, so like teacher interpreter has given us an idea of where this is gonna come from. So let's go to this our router. Show dot edit slash new. So in this expenses show, the problem is coming from this expenses show. Expenses dot get expenses dot id. Show expenses or edit expenses. I'm still not seeing where the error is coming from, but let me just come over here first. This is the disadvantage of like letting it run your code, because now you have to like have a big debugging skills for you to understand what is happening because you're not the one that wrote the code yourself, and a change in the code can cause a lot of destruction. So even though it's going to do a custom code for you, you're the one that is going to debug it. So when you're having issue with your code, you might sometimes not know what is causing the issue. Like now we're trying to see why it's still out into expenses, even though expenses does not exist. So dot index. So this x over here when we cancel it. So when we put this thing, we said the patch is like this, action is live action. Then we did something. So if we say you should edit for us, the edit does not do that. Like you see, we close the edit, nothing happened. We close this one, nothing happened. So the edit says edit an entry. So SXX. So what can we edit? Can we edit the amount? So let's make it like this. Okay, so it has reflected in our browser. So in this part, is this show part. So when you cancel, it's supposed to take you back to the show. So the problem is coming from the show. So let's look at our show. So io.inspect is what we use to debug. So it has been fixed. Yes, probably the code did not compile well then. Science choose plus. Okay, it's been fixed. So what do we want to do? Yeah, I wanted to do this delimiter. So let's fix that one. Then we're going to add, so we see our edit is working, our delete is working. So what we want to just do is to add the monthly summary. Then we are good to go. So let's see if our mixed up depths have number. No, it does not have number. So we are going to add this number, a new dependency, so that we can have um, be able to write our value properly. So let's stop this. So we're going to run the mixed ups, these dips.get. Then so we have imported it, and over here we're going to add it over here in the amount. So we are going to say add that to the limit. Yeah, so number to the limit, the amount has come out properly now. So we're going to add below this our table. We're going to have, so we don't have a table, say that's table folder. I think we should just, so let's check in our core if we have a table footer in our core for table. So this is what we use to create the table. Okay, T body. So we have table body, but we don't have table footer. Is it seafood they call table footer? Is it seafood? I think I'm forgetting a lot of things, but let's see. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm not seeing my screen. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Eduardo. I thought I'm sharing my screen, so let me share it again. Sorry about that. I thought I've been sharing my screen for a while. I didn't know it stopped sharing. I'm so sorry about that. Can you see my screen now? Please confirm if you can see my screen. I'm so sorry about that. So currently what we have done is we have arranged the table properly. So we have a credit and a debit entry in this our expenses. So we are trying to add a table footer for the summary part. But since table footer is not working, we might just do a normal.
Incoming call from ability duly identified by
Oh, well. Hello? Hello? Yeah? Oh, okay. Let me call the code for you. Sorry. Stay on the call. Let me call the code for you. Okay. So the code is 2342. 42. So we're saying flex. So we're going to do items center justify. Sorry, I didn't know my screen was not showing again. Justify between gap 4. So this is what we're going to be using. We're just going to have a H1 where we say monthly monthly summation. So we are going to have a P tag where we're going to have total credit, total debit. Then we're going to have the balance. Sorry, now can you see my screen? I'm so sorry. I saw your message a bit late. So sorry about that. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, let me see what happened here. Oh, I don't think it has a closing tag. No, it was too opening. So it's going to reload by itself. So sometimes we don't have to run recompile. But in order for us to be safe that our code has actually recompiled, so that's why we are running the recompile. Okay. So this is actually supposed to be a flex column. Or we can make this outside of here, but it's gonna be in a div and flex items center justify between my8 gap 4. Okay, gap 4 or 4. So, okay, that's great. Okay, so this is gonna be flex. This is gonna be flex column. So we're going to write the functionality in the express tracker. So why is this one giving us compile? It cannot compile. To compile later on. So So we're going to create a functionality. Let me ask ChatGPT for help because I know what to do, but I'm losing track of how to do about it. So I want to use so we're going to be using this date in our database over here to do it. So our expense tracker. We have just one table. So over here in this table now, we have this inserted at. So that's what we're going to be using to do the date formation. So I want to calculate the monthly summation for total credit, total debit based on the month using the month in the inserted at from the database. So it's going to use the month from the inserted at to do a enum dot sum for us. So let's see I'm going to see what it shows. Group by fragment month dot inserted at. Okay. Okay, so this is the code it provided for us. So we are going to test it out. So I want it to do total debit differently. Let me, because it did both together, so do total debit differently. So let me bring this over here so you can see what I'm asking. Do total debit differently and total credit differently. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this is going to be total credit, E in expenses, where the account type is credit. So it's going to date dot truncate month, since we want to calculate it based on month. Then inserted at, so the month is now going to be where is equals to inserted at. The total credit is sum dot E dot amount, which is the total amount, order by month. So monthly debit is going to follow the same thing. The difference is now going to be in the type. So let's check out this code that it gave us if it's correct and fits what we want to do. Let me see. So it's going to be like a function. Okay. So the monthly total monthly debit is going to be, so monthly debit is E from E in expenses, where no, this is supposed to be a query. Okay, it's not actually a query. So let me try it out. So let me try it out in, let me alias this and try it out in the IES shell. So we are going to see what the result looks like to know what angle we are going through. So let's try it out. Okay, expenses, total debit. Okay, give us back the results. Let's sorry, we're supposed to inspect. I was like, why did he give us back the result instead of the amount? Then I realized I didn't even expect it. Total, is it total debit? Total credit, sorry. Total credit. Okay, so uh, oh, I changed the function name, sorry. Expenses, the total credit. No, 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 no. So, comment. That's not giving us close to, but we're almost there to call in the amounts and fetch the total credit or debit for that month. Okay, so but if you want to use this as a function in your context model that can be called from your mouse library, here's the corrected approach. So where result is equals to repo.or monthly credit, repo.or monthly credit. So we are supposed to do repo.or. That's what we did not achieve because I wanted to see what was wrong in the first code when we utilize it. So in the total debit, so we just have to call it and we'll be able to fetch the total debit and total credit. Then from there we can build the balance. So I think I will go with which one should I say I prefer? I prefer this. So I prefer this. It's explanatory. So over here now in the expenses, so this is the expenses table. We are using the account type to filter. Then we are trying to filter the month from the inserted at. Then when we get that month from the inserted at, we are now doing a total debit, which is a summation of all the amounts. So let's copy this and see how it looks like again. Since we have an idea of what the code is supposed to do for us, so we can use this to build the credit side of it. Okay, total monthly. So we have a formation that shows amount, the date, and the total credit. So we have finally gotten two things. We have gotten the date, which is March, and we have gotten the total debit. But what we just want is to just query it and return. We just want the amount. We don't want the date. So let's see. Inserted at order by. Okay. So we are going to go a bit further without the date. If you want the total amount, sum of debit without grouping the month or returning the date. Yeah, we don't want it to group, it's just the amount. So repo.query says date dot inserted at month current date some select, so we have to add this select. Oh, so in this select we just remove this. We can even remove it like this since we don't want to group it together, and just put this. So since we are not grouping it together, so we compile. So that's why we run our code in shell mode for when we want to do something like this. So we got the amount. Yep. So let's work for the total. Now let's work for the total credit. So we can do an easy stuff of copying it like this. The only thing now we need to change is, so who knows, like who has an idea what we need to change? Hello everyone. Can you hear me? Are you following? Or am I the only one here? So hello people, are you following? Who has an idea what we need to change? Hello. Okay, I can see like there is one person on the stream now. So okay. Hi. So we are supposed to change something. I was asking like who has an idea what we need to change in order to do our total, in order to achieve the total credit. So in order to achieve the total credit, we are going to do, so we are going to call this one. We don't want to confuse ourselves, so we are going to say total credit. And over here, we are just going to call this credit instead of debit. So we're going to call it credit instead of debit, and that's just all. So we're going to call this one total credit query. So we don't need to like inspect this result, but we need to return the results. But we don't need to like inspect the result. You can just leave the inspection there in case when somebody wants to like try to inspect total. So we're gonna call it total credit. So we have 45,000, which is the total credit. So over here now in our index page, so over here in our index, we are going to do, so they are using stream. Why do they use stream in this code? So they use stream instead of assign. The code was based on that life. That's what we used to. So we use a generator to generate the code. So why did they use? Why did they utilize stream instead of assign? Okay, okay, Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So we can do total debit. So total debit equals to expenses, which is our um context file dot. Which one are we? Sorry, which one are we doing now? We said total debit. So let's close so many things. Can close the router. We're no longer using the router. So this will give us the total debit. The total credit is going to be expenses dot then balance is going to be total debit, no, total credit minus total debit. So we're going to inspect all this to see what we have before we pass them to the stream. Before we pass them to the mounts and use them in our front end. So we're going to see what they actually give us. So total credit, we have spent more than the time we budget. So forgive me if it looks like I'm being too fast. It's supposed to be just a 1 hour live stream. So we're doing balance. Okay, then let's expenses total credit dot o is undefined. So let me save my code. Let me save this to know what's happening. Monthly, okay, I think it's monthly total credit. Did I put it well? Yeah, I did. So save and what am I getting? Oh, I didn't write the P well, sorry. Bad argument. Oh, it is not it's a list set, so we have to make it so the so how to convert list to float. So I think they should have like something to list to float or something, but okay, so they said we can use repo.one because of the repo.all that was being utilized gave us a list. So instead of repo.all, we can use repo.one. Since the data is always going to be one, it's going to sum all the whole total for us and just give us one data. So we'll try to do put another more data in the debit and see how it works. So we have everything is okay now. Let's come to our code page and try to do. So we know like so this is how we assign values from. Oh, we haven't assigned we haven't assigned it. Sorry, I thought we already assigned it into the database. That's why sometimes it's good to like follow suit on what you're doing so that you don't make a mistake that you thought, oh, I've done this, and you're like, oh, I haven't done it. So we're gonna do socket. Socket is equals to so we are going to be using a pipe operator. So stream assign total debit total debit assign total credit total credit. So we're going to do another assign. So balance. Okay, so we're done. When you're done with all these as inspect, it's better to remove it just for code cleanup. So it's better you have a proper code cleanup after your inspection. So since we have inspected all these things, we're just going to remove them for proper code cleanup. At total credit. So we are going to give it we're going to use strong. So it's going to be more bold. So let's see how it looks like. We are done over here. So thank you for staying to the end. So let's see. We're having an issue. Let's see what the issue is. Okay. Must be an atom. It doesn't have to be an atom. Oh, assign in a live you must be an atom. I was like, it doesn't have to be an atom. Assign in a oh, we didn't give it like this an atom. So it's saying the balance must be an atom, and I'm like, no, we don't want it to be an atom. So thanks for sticking by to the end. So this is it. Now we have to use number to delimiter. It's not so our value is going to be coming like this. So let's correct that quick. So over here, what we use for this. So we can do our project like this. Yep. So we're going to use this instead of this. And we're going to call it Is it? Oh, sorry, a total credit. So at the end of this video, we are going to put the so we are going to put this in a GitHub and we are going to put the URL so you can clone it to do more functionality on it, or you can contribute to the project because they are part of the project within checkout and which is the share. So I'm going to leave that to anybody that wants to contribute to this project. You can do the share part and maybe a UI fix or anyhow you feel like okay, this can be an improvement to this project. It's all welcome. Thank you. Okay, total. Oh, I made a mistake in the key. So just as I said, learn to like read errors so that you don't spend a lot of time debugging what is not supposed to like take you time because you didn't just read the error properly. Because Elixir error is kind of one of the sweetest error I've seen. To tell you sometimes what's not working well. So just read the error. Um. Oh, so it has reload by itself. Yeah. So thank you for sticking by. So let's add another expenses. So we're going to call this one. We're going to call this one clothes. So we bought purchase new clothes. So we're going to put it on our fashion, and we spend 45,000. So if you see our balance is reducing. So thank you for sticking by, and we love you, and we are so happy you stayed to the ending. But wait, why is our total credit? Oh, I think we made a mistake. Total credit is 4.5. Total debit is 500,000 plus. So it's not summing it well. So we need to go back. It's not summing it well. The balance is summing well, but this total is not summing it well because now we have a new repo and it's not doing the summation of everything properly. So that's an overview of our code. So we need to correct that. So let me confirm what I'm doing here. Yeah, so why didn't it submit it very well? So let me confirm, sorry. Credit, so debit is okay, 5,000. Oh, credit is 445,000. So it's correct. The credit is 45,000. Debit is 500. Oh, it submitted well. Yeah, it did it well. So it's actually did it well. So thank you for sticking by, and we love you, and thank you so much. Bye. See you in the next video, which is going to be coming soon. So it's a 10 project, a 10 live coding project we have done. And this is just the first one, which is a simple expense tracker. So thank you so much for sticking by. And it's your girl Ijoma, and this is Elixir Forge. Thank you so much. We're going to post this on the repo and share. Yeah, we're going to share it over here in this comment, in this chat. So let's post it and share the chat. Thank you so much for sticking by. So let's make our total. I think we should have put. I think we should have also got the month date. Oh yeah, that's true. We should have got the month date so that we can put the month beside it and do all that. So we're supposed to get the month date. What do you guys think? I think we should have gotten the month date. So over here, I'm going to get the month date. So it should show you which month that expenses occurred on. So we're going to do that real quick. So the select is going to have. So we're going to do this then. Over here, we're going to see report of one, report of one. So now so many things is going to break. In order for so many things not to break, this is going to be dot amount. Then this is also going to be dot amount. Then we're going to have date, which is going to be. So I'll correct it on the other one too. So there's a form which we are going to also upload. So the form is if you want to participate in the next project. So we are going to be like, because it's supposed to be a collaboration, and we're supposed to have someone here who is going to do like half of the code, and both of us are going to like brainstorm together. So that's the whole aim of the project, but the person was not available. So if you want to be part of the next one, just give us. We're going to drop the form also, so you just fill your details and everything, and we'll get in touch with you. Thank you. Amount not. Oh, it's total debit. Sorry, not amount. So we can call this one total. Okay, which one are we calling total debit now? Like, let's not get ourselves confused. So we can call this one total credit. So this is your total summation for the month of March. So thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. So let's go over here and create a GitHub repo and push this code to the GitHub repo. Projects. So over here, let's just do plus new repository. So we wanted to change something in this our code. So over here, So thank you all. We have pushed it to the repo and the codes have been updated in. So thank you so much. And this is the repo link. So we are going to put this repo link also in the project description. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. Thank you so much. Bye everyone. Thank you so much.